What's up, YouTube? Dirt Road Soldier here. Well, it's been a while since I made a video, but a few weeks ago I went to a rifle match and actually got third place. It was pretty awesome. First time I've ever placed at any match. It was a little different. First time I ever shot one. It was called a Varmint silhouette match. It's pretty cool. It's different than PRS. It's you're still dialing for targets, but you're not doing all the transitioning and moving and stuff. So it was all prone, or you could shoot off of a table, but you couldn't have any rear support. Like a lot of the PRS matches you go to, people are shooting rear support with either a tripod or a bag. This one is you could only use your hand. So when I first pulled up to the range, I noticed a lot of people wearing gloves, and I didn't understand why everyone was wearing gloves. But later down the road, you understand why people are wearing gloves. Now you can't have rear support with a bag, but you can use your hand, your support hand. So that's what the glove was. It was support between the concrete and your stock, so, or your chassis. So yeah, it's a little uncomfortable, bare skin on concrete and bag rider, which is on my rifle. So I was shooting my 6-dasher, and I had really good luck with it. Like I say, ended up third place. Pretty spectacular out of quite a few shooters. Now, I will say I did have it a little easier than some of the other shooters there, because when you do start out, you start out as marksman, and marksmen do shoot different yardages than what is next, expert and master, I think it is. So when you go to the match, they hand you this piece of paper, and sorry, it's probably out in reverse or whatever, using my phone. So, but anyways, you have a squirrel that's 305 yards. You have a crow that's 403 yards. You have a rock chuck that is 415. You have a rabbit at 600 and a coyote at 705. Now, I will say that, now that was for me as a marksman. But I think like the expert and the master, I think the crow as it is at 500 yards, and I think the coyote is at 800 yards, something like that. But there is a difference with the two targets, and then the other targets are this, I think, the same yardage. So anyways, yeah, and like I say, they give you all the yardage. So I put in my dope for each target, and then try to read the wind out there with my Kestrel and my binos, and then just trying to read what the mirage was doing out there. So I figured it was about a 5-mile-an-hour wind. So, but anyways, yeah. So then you start in a random order, and they do have a milk jug deal, which at this match they didn't do. But that is a cold bore shot. I think it's like a $5 or a $10 cash payout, basically. It's cash to get into the shoot, and then if you happen to hit it, they'll split the pot or whatever with the shooters that hit it, or you'll just, if you hit it, you take home that whatever the cash earning is, people that got into that challenge. But that's a cold bore shot, so one shot, that's it, at 923 yards. So sorry, everything's backwards on my phone, so I don't have no fancy videography stuff. But anyway, so my friends actually put the match on, and were graciously, they had to work on the targets. I asked them if they would trace the targets and send me a tracing. So they did, and I got some foam board stuff and cut them out. So this is the squirrel, and got the other stuff here. There's the chuck, the crow, and the rabbit, and the coyote. The coyote's pretty big. The coyote looks big here in hand, but when it's out there at 705 yards, it looks small. So, yeah, so my idea is I'm gonna, for the steel targets that I do have, now the coyote won't fit, but I do have some old steel targets that I shoot. I was gonna paint them, the silhouette on them, and then that's the way I could practice on them. So here's the squirrel. It don't actually fit. The nose is just a little bit, but yeah. So that's a cheap way of practicing for the next match. So I have to move the targets out a little further, I think, if I'm going to practice right, because if I go to another match this year, I will have to shoot expert. So the crow would be out at 500 yards, and then I think the coyote would be at, I think 800, but I'm not positive. That might be master. It might be at like 750 or something, somewhere in there. Two of those targets do move. So, but yeah, if you're looking for something different than PRS and NRL, it's pretty fun. So like I say, you're prone or on a table. The first, they call them strings. Your first string, they call them siders too. You can shoot as many rounds as you want. And basically you're just trying to adjust your dope. If you're a little higher, you're a little low, and adjust for your wind. You can shoot all the targets at those yardages. But then when you're ready, they give you like 7 minutes for that string. When you're ready, you have to turn around and let the RO basically know that I'm shooting for score now, and you'll only shoot 1 round per target. So when you're on score, you're only going to shoot 10 rounds basically. You'll shoot 5 rounds for like 2.5 minutes, and then they'll give you a couple minutes between, maybe a minute, and then you'll shoot another 5 rounds, and then it's a random deal on the targets. So, and they call them out. It's more than helpful. They're telling you to dial, remember to dial, but like this one, you'll shoot, okay, you're shooting the crow, you're going to start on the crow. You got 2 minutes, okay, you start on the crow. So you engage, boom, 1 round, then it's, okay, the chuck is next, you're shooting the chuck. So you got to remember to dial. Shoot. Now you're shooting the coyote. So now you're on the coyote, you shoot the coyote, you shoot all 5 targets, all in random different orders. And it's all single feed too. So it's not through a mag, like I got 10 rounds in a mag. No, it's single feed. So you're shooting, hand support, and single feed. So it's different, but it's still pretty fun. And yeah, I did pretty good. I mean, you look at the rabbit. Now the rabbit's pretty good size. I mean, it's a rabbit. So, but you start getting down to the crow. Now everybody called it the salmon basically, because it was basically just like so out there. So, and it is at the widest part, it's about, well, we'll see at the feet right here. It's right about 5 inches, and then the length of it is about 12.5 inches. So if you figure your elevation is good, you got a lot of wind play in there. So you can make up a little bit there with the wind, but you know, you miss in there, and that's tough, and you only get 1 round at it. So even though you'll come back in the next string and get another round at it, you're trying to remember where you're missing at. So, because after the first initial round, you don't get any more siders. So once after the siders are done, that round, you shoot for score through the whole thing. So there's no more getting to guess where the wind's at, you know, 30, 40 minutes later. So you're shooting for score. So hopefully that made sense. I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But then the chuck too, the chuck's vertical. So where the crow is horizontal. So yeah, they're about the same. Yeah, pretty close to the same width, but one's straight up, and the crow was 415, or excuse me, the chuck was 415, and the crow was 403. So, and then the rabbit is 600 yards. So, but yeah, that's my plan. Is paint these on my bigger steel targets, and then I can practice from there. So, the coyote, I don't have steel that big, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. Either have a friend make me a target, maybe, or maybe just keep it paper and make it a shoot and see target. So, anyways, thanks for watching. Have a great day.